There was this one label that last minute just canceled the whole thing.
We would never work with that label ever again.
안녕하세요.
What is up, Ducks Quack Quack? Danny Kid.
David.
What's it like working with a K-pop label?
Oh, tea spilled.
As K-pop YouTubers, we work with a lot of K-pop labels. Some good, some absolutely horrendous. We'll talk about our experiences working with K-pop labels, how it goes, what's the process, how it's like. Number one, usually K-pop labels contact us first. They will email us for interviews, collaboration. Number two, they will usually not talk about money. Back in the days when we were dumb and young, we did all this shit for free. Can't believe we did all that shit for free. The interview itself is usually enjoyable.
Meeting them is a great experience.
Right.
Too.
But whatever happens before
And
and after, not saying all the labels are like that. Some very stingy K-pop labels will ask for very specific details on coordination of the production. I understand, like, artists are very busy. They don't have time to like experiment. I think the more painful part is what happens after the editing process. First of all, we gotta subtitle everything, and B, the labels a lot of times are very extra sensitive about the things that go into our interviews.
No controversies at all.
Things that get taken out in a lot of our interviews is very ridiculous. One label asked us to take out a reaction shot from a male idol member because he got too excited when he saw a female group.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day when we were young and dumb, we would listen to all those. Nowadays, we just tell the manager to just write down everything.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, a lot of entertainment companies, they're not very coordinated. They have a lot of people that like to give orders. People that we're communicating with are usually at the end of the food chain.
Yeah.
They'll receive an order from, say, some CEO, and then somebody else comes into the room 3 days later and says,
Oh, by the way, that I don't like.
we send an edit, and then they find a new problem. They find a new problem. We don't do that anymore, but that was when we were young.
It's like super hyper managed because, like, even for selfie posting,
Right.
you need to get confirmation. We throw them the selfies we shot with them, like maybe 5.
Right.
They all Photoshop them and then pick the best one and then
But
give
good
it
thing
to
is
us.
They Photoshop us,
I
too.
guess at least.
When we were first starting, we were frustrated and intimidated working with K-pop labels.
Yeah.
Because every single thing we needed to do needed a check. We still go through that process, honestly. Like, we still have to check everything.
Yeah.
But I think we got kind of used to working with K-pop labels. So now we know, like, how they usually operate. We know that they're gonna be extra careful on every single little detail.
Yeah.
So we ourselves, I think, have become more careful whenever we're dealing with them.
And we set the terms first.
Nowadays, we ask for production costs, obviously, because these interviews take a lot of time.
It takes like a week to edit them.
Our longest edit was a month.
If you actually try to subtitle a 20-minute video, that takes like 2 days.
I think you guys should understand that, like, even though it's a 10-20 minute video, actually that took us about a week or sometimes even more. A lot of hard work. Usually puts our operations on full stop. All we're focusing on is putting this interview out.
Let's go on into the pros now, the
Okay,
positives, of working with K-pop labels. First of all, obviously you get to meet the idols
That's
in
a really
person.
cool experience, honestly. It's elevated by the fact that, like, usually when I do the K-pop interviews, I like listen to the artist's like discography for like a few days before.
We try to memorize the members' names and stuff.
Like watch a lot of their videos.
Yeah.
It kind of becomes a cool experience that you're like meeting the person behind like the songs that you've been listening to the past few days. Another thing is when you do meet them, like, you just realize that they're all human. Like, that's a cool thing.
And
too.
you can have human interaction with them.
It feels like they're at work, you're at work, we're both at work, let's get this job done.
Yeah.
This is why I feel, and I kind of enjoy that. Like, I enjoy that they're like just regular people that are doing some other work that people normally don't do. Usually after the interviews, I end up with a bigger appreciation of the artists because I personally met them. It just kind of gives me a more of a connection with the music.
The appreciation is a good point because once you see these idols performing right in front of you, you just have to respect their hard work and their talent. A lot of people only admire like big groups, big idols that are successful, but if you see all the other idol groups out there,
They work hard.
they work really hard. If you look at that talent up close, you just get to admire and respect, wow, these people, they really work their asses off.
Another thing that I guess you kind of respect and hate is the employees in K-pop labels.
Yeah.
Even though they're a lot of times annoying because they're directly saying this is wrong, that is wrong, we need to fix this. I gotta respect their endurance and patience. Usually the ones that we're talking to, like I said, are the middleman. and there's like CEOs that are telling them like this and that, going over every single little detail.
Yeah.
And I gotta respect that. And usually they work like they have no weekends. We usually film during weekends.
Yeah, they're always responsive.
They're always like there, midnight,
Yeah.
whatever. So I have a lot of respect for them.
One thing I noticed though is like label by label, the culture and atmosphere is very different. The working style is very different too. For instance, one label we work with would be super chill, super cooperative, and just try to give us the best experience ever. Like they would just share our content on social media. They would, you know,
they'll be very open to everything.
But some labels, on the other hand, would be very closed, very strict, very
treating us like we're outsourced workers. Is what I would say. We would never work with that label ever again.
But let's name the best experience we had.
VAV.
Oh, definitely.
Their label was super chill. The guys were super chill. The guys were really nice. They made us super comfortable.
Right.
The editing process, they didn't give us any feedback. They were like, just hey, cool, like just upload.
Yeah.
They're absolutely amazing. That made me like the band even more.
Yeah. For me, the best was the most recent Ujin one with 10X.
Oh,
they were
that one
super
was
cooperative
great
too.
I love that.
Yeah, we got on Zoom quick. We just threw our ideas and they were like, "Oh, we like that." If you look at the interview, like if you look at the nature of the interview itself, it's a very hard interview to pull off in their shoes, and they just like gave us the green light. They didn't even edit out a lot of questions. So a lot of journalists, a lot of K-pop YouTubers complain with this point because they can't ask genuine questions or deep questions. But in this case, they respected all our questions.
I think Dreamcatcher was also a pretty chill interview. They were very accommodating. We were taking a lot of their time.
Yeah.
But they were very, very nice to us. Omega X also. We took out half their like day of Omega X. I think that's the most we spent with idols, because usually these idol interviews, they will last like 30 to an hour. But Omega X, they were like there for 4 hours, 5 hours.
One last thing though, once you start working with labels, the industry is really small, so the managers move around within the labels. So like there's been a lot of cases when this manager moves to another company and she contacts us again and we do interviews like that. So I think the networking and the knowing the people inside the companies are really important in getting these idol interviews.
There's also cases where I think bigger labels, sometimes what we call 갑질.
Oh yeah. We've been power tripped.
Yeah, we've been on the other end of power trips.
There was this one label that last minute just canceled the whole thing.
They ghosted us.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Like they delayed it.
They delayed it,
and then they ghosted us.
They gave us an ambiguous answer. They delayed it, and then on the filming day,
and then they ghosted us.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how it's like working with a K-pop label. Hope you guys got some tea off of that, and please subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/DKDKTV. We got more tea on the after show.
And please go watch our K-pop idol interviews.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work into that.
I wish all those got like 1 million views, because man, those deserve 1 million views. We do a lot of work, and I think we honestly have the best K-pop interviews.
Oh yeah. No cookie cutter shit.